everybody. Welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, Ann, Disembodied Hands, Quindy, Disembodied Beard, John, and all of you. Kiki's in the other room sulking because I yelled at her this morning for pounding on the glass. So, hello, Fox Behind the Tree. I love your name because I am a fox person. Absolutely. Alrighty. Here we are. We're back on Batling. Back on Batling. Sweet. I have a new product that I'm experimenting with. You guys will get a PDF. New patrons will get a PDF. Maybe next month. I don't know. Maybe. I have to experiment a lot more with these. I have a thing I ordered. It's something that mecha people use, who do the big Gundam mech type stuff. And I ordered it when I ordered another thing. Hi there, Kiki. Kiki's here after all. But her back is still a little sore, so she's not going to get up on my lap today. Are you, little fuzz? Or huge fuzz, as it were. You're not really a little fuzz anymore, are you? Although I was looking at her puppy pictures the other day because her boyfriend apparently has some fans who are asking about puppies. So I had to send some Kiki pictures to the owner of the stud dog. Hey, Roger. So that let me go and look at my baby Kiki pictures again. So, you know, that's always adorable. Man, I'm going through brushes this year. I need to order more. I'm going to start feeling that insecure feeling. How many do I have? Now I have to double check. Okay, I have 5. That's all right. I can deal with 5. 5 fresh and new Da Vinci. Wait. Yes, because these others are different sizes, aren't they? Yeah, at number 2 and at number 0. Okay. So I have in total 7 brand new untouched Da Vinci Maestros. One of them, however, is a 2. And one is a 0. The 0 is not a problem. The 2 is just not standard. And I have a whole bunch of brushes hiding over here. Oh, but they're mostly Raphael's. Oh, and another Da Vinci Maestro. Size 1. All right, well, that one's already been used, so I'm actually going to put that one out here so it can replace this really, really worn one that I've got. It's almost on its last leg. Its last hair. All right. Yes. There we are. Now we're prepared. Hey there, Tea Time. I am having a great Wednesday. My book has been selling like crazy on its sale, and I'm so happy. Like, we sold 8 copies yesterday, guys. Let's see. Let me check and see that I'm right on that. Maybe it was... No, it was 8. Yeah, we sold 8 copies yesterday. Which for my book is very, very, very good. Yeah. That was the best we've done on the sale. Sadly, the sale ends. The sale of my first book ends on tomorrow. So... I think I'll leave it that price for tomorrow, and then I'll switch it. Kiki, no. Oh, hold on. Actually, Quindy can give you the spam. If you go to my author site, that's the bottom one. You'll go to the book, and there's a link to Amazon. I think there's also a link to Barnes & Noble, if that's what you prefer. But it's also on Kobo, if you're European or Canadian. Book 1 is, I'm slowly getting I think both books are up on Kobo, and I'm slowly getting more books up on Kobo. I don't have it on Google or Apple yet, I'm working on it. But there's so much to do. But yeah, it's a YA fantasy based on Norwegian folklore tea time, so, and the first book, currently ebook is on sale for 99 cents, so yeah, if you snag it today or tomorrow, you're good. I'm going to actually hold off the second book, because I think I'm going to drop the price of the second book ebook down to $3.99. I think now that I have book 3 out, I'm going to lower the price of West of the Moon just a little bit in ebook format. The first hit is not free, but it's discounted. But yeah. So I'm very excited. We've got 2 new reviews this month. I'm looking, I wonder if anybody's joined my mailing list. I'm super excited. And later today, I get to make another Facebook ad. Maybe more than one. But I need a new one to start running at regular price, because Facebook has proved itself to me, guys. I was dubious. I was very dubious after my results with Amazon ads, which were sporadic. But apparently Facebook really is a good place to sell books. Oh, it's on. Yes, it should be on all of the country's Amazons, but I know that some Canadians really prefer Kobo. They have Kobo readers because Kobo started in your country. So I made sure to put it up on Kobo as well. Although I don't think it's on sale on Kobo, and that's just because I have limited time because writing is part-time for me, and there's so much to do. So that's my fail. But for the next sale, I'm planning on doing sales on all the platforms. So, and by then I should be on Apple. I have to apply for an iBooks, iCreative or whatever the heck they call it. I have to apply to be able to put a book up on their platform, or a book or three. But yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to continue expanding and then to put everything on sale everywhere and run ads to all of it and see what we can do. That's the plan, folks. Because it turns out when you publish your novel, you are actually in business. You're in a business, and you have to treat it like a business. All right, let's mix up some colors for Toad. I believe we're using Wilderness for our green, but we're not going to leave Toad really bright green because Toads generally are not terribly bright green. We're going to mix it with our brown that we used on the Batling. And when I have to do this, when I've got an object on the model that is a totally different color from anything else on the model, then I like to arrive at that color by mixing the other colors I have in use, rather than just picking a random color out of my box. Because I find that makes that color work better with everything else. And in fact, once I get an olive tone mixed up for this Toad, I'll probably add little bits of olive to these leaves so that I can actually draw a relationship between these two greens. That's the plan. But yeah, the cool thing, Tea Time, if you do get the book and you like it, if you leave a review on the Canadian side, because reviews don't necessarily cross across countries. Like, they'll usually give you, if you scroll down, they'll be like, best, top review from other country, but they don't like, cross-pollinate like that. The trying to get traction on the different Amazons is like, each one is its own thing. It's so annoying. Especially because reviews are like, that's what people pick you up. And I have 35 good reviews on regular Amazon, but I don't know. I've got very few, I think, on UK and Canada. Oh, exercise class canceled mysteriously. Nice, Inara. Yeah, also allergies, guys. Sorry, I'll blow my nose off green. Take your pill, Quindy. It rained here just a little bit this morning, so everything is activating and my nose is like going crazy. Yeah, we're halfway through the week. All right, so let's mix up our brown, our Batling brown. Let's just call it Batling brown. If I was still at the paint department, in charge of the paint department at Reaper, I would totally take this opportunity to create a color called Batling brown. So I need to grab my volcanic orange and my walnut. And I would, that would be a pain in the butt to do, actually, because I'd have to mix 3 different bases to get it, but I could do it. I could create Batling brown. And it is different enough from any other color to be utilized that way, but maybe I should just send Ron a formula. Give this to your paint department person for next Halloween. Oh, that walnut is not shaken enough. Let's shake it a little more. Hello, Laura. Well, sometimes it's not worth it, Smallish Sam, because the problem is so usually you make a paint in one base. And when I began doing the paint stuff, I experimented with mixing 2 bases together to get certain effects, like to gain some of the benefit from a high density pigment in one of the bases, adding it to the other. But the problem with that is that when you're mixing bases, it's necessarily a somewhat inexact science. You're just using measuring cups, and pigment amounts can be just that little bit off, which makes it extremely difficult to hit the color, and then you're wasting a lot of time and resources trying to hit that color. So when you're trying to mix a new batch. So it actually isn't worth it at a certain point when you're mixing way too many bases. So it really depends. So I'm going to do 2 drops of walnut and 2 drops of volcanic orange to get Batling brown. And I'll show you guys the mix. Let's get Batling sideways so that I can actually pull this down here. Yeah, that's nice, Twisted Dome. That's good that the weather broke for you. It's nice and cool here today. It's going to be 73. All right, so that's 2. I might need 1 more. We'll mix that up and see. These were smaller drops. Yeah, I'm going to need more orange. Can tell it already. That was more like 1 drop. Let's go slow. There we go. There's a good drop. Oh, frost. Yeah, this was our first rain. We had just a sprinkle of rain this morning, but it was our first rain of the fall, so I'm excited. I'm terribly excited. Wow. That walnut, that new walnut has a lot of oomph to it. We're going to be mixing a lot of Batling brown, I can see. Look. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a real break for you, Quindy. There we go. There's our Batling brown. It's getting there anyway. Why is this? I wonder if this walnut just has a different balance. When in doubt, and if something's not working, don't just keep throwing paint at it. Switch your mix over. There we go. Yeah, this walnut is stronger than my old bottle of walnut. Oh, I forgot to put on Kiki's fan, so she's barking at everything. Let me go and put on that fan. White noise is our savior on this stream. Otherwise, they'll be woofing. Much woofing. And a little woofing is fine, but not a lot. Yeah, there's much woofing. All right. Let me go and put her fan on, guys, and I'll be right back. No bugs. There we go. Much better. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with a cloudy day. Deuce. Or Deus, as the case may be. Hi there, little Kiki. Hi, no, yeah, you just want pettins, I know, but you were a little beast there. You were barking. Now your fan is on, so you should go settle, okay? It's work. She's like, but you got up. I thought you were done. Nope. Nope. No, it's work time, Bubba. Work. Kiki's like, oh. I'm going to mix just a little bit more of this because I want some of it for mixing. Uh-oh, and Kiki gave me a hair to put in that. Thanks, Keeks. There we go. It's a nice Batling brown. It is really actually a little bit different from, it's almost like you mix, if you mix a little bit of harvest brown with a little bit of black and brown, you probably get something similar. But you could just do the volcanic orange plus walnut and just keep, follow my example and keep it high on the orange and low on the walnut because you don't know how it's going to mix till you start mixing it. All right, now let's grab our wilderness green. Bloop. 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 And I'm going to mix a little Batling brown into it. That's a nice kind of olivey green. I think I'll do, I don't want to take it to total mud. I think I'm going to grab a little bit of our dark brown and mix some green into that as well. Hey, Kodiak. Your boo-boo gets 20 minutes of cuddle time at the beginning of every work session. Very nice. Yeah, mine is Kiki gets attention all morning. Like she gets along her walk, and then she comes back and gets her food and treats and attention from mom and dad. But then when David goes to work, it's time for me to get to work. And she has to remember that she's not a bratty dog. Okay, so this is a very close to like troll hide kind of dark olive color. We'll keep this lighter color. Also, I'll put a little bit more brown in it. There. And yet it's still close enough to wilderness that I think it'll resonate with the wilderness. So we're going to use this, let's see, which one should we use? Probably the one with better coverage. So I'm going to do the mid-green first. I might add just a little bit of white to it. That's going to wash it out a little bit. I could also use something like Osirian Sand or Creamy Ivory, something that's like a beige white. Let's use Creamy Ivory, actually, since we're going for muted. Readiness, yep. Yeah, my Garmin watch has readiness. It has the body battery and the readiness score. They're different. Fitbit is obviously now conscious of the fact that it was hemorrhaging market share, right? Because it started to suck. So that's going to change the color quite a bit. But it's also going to give us something better to work with as far as a base coat, because then we can shade with this dark olive and it'll look good. It's also going to add opacity because the Creamy Ivory has a lot of white pigment in it. That's 9144 Creamy Ivory. Oh yeah. So essentially you got yelled at for doing further work off the clock. Kodiak. Wow. That's new. Actually, it's not new, though. I know companies that have done that. Yeah, it's annoying, but does it have something to do with, like, labor laws and stuff, though? If you're doing work, you need to get paid for it, and if they can't track it... I don't remember. I used to be up on labor law. Like, quite up on it, but I'm not now. Yeah, it depends on what kind of company you're in, right? If they're billing or if they're just like... Because, like, there's overtime stuff too, right? Depending on if you're salaried or hourly, and essentially not being able to track your hours... I don't know. Yeah, you weren't that happy to begin with, were you, Kodiak? I remember vaguely you weren't a fan. Yeah, you certainly shouldn't be getting more than... Honestly, if it's the first time, it should be like a verbal warning. Written warning seems excessive for a first-time warning. Maybe that's just me and the way that I tended to escalate. But I always would give a verbal first. And then note it. And then written was escalation. But yeah, every company's different. You were salaried, but you switched to hourly. Oh, that's, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Got it. So essentially, what they're saying is they don't want you, like, essentially putting in that you deserve to get paid overtime or something because you were doing work that you didn't have time to do on your normal shift, yada yada. Yeah, that's a paranoid company. That's not a trustful company. Yep, yep. Agree. Yeah, this is somebody, like, somebody put this system in place who has no real social skills. This is what this is saying to me. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry you're going through that, Kodiak. Your annoyance is legit. I also would be annoyed. Yeah, and that's never effective, right? It just makes unhappy employees. Like that kind of micromanaging is essentially sending a very loud and clear "we don't trust you" message to the employee base, and that's just kind of not great. Not great. Not a great feeling. Yes, that's what I was. Thank you, Turgeon. That was what I was thinking. An employer cannot knowingly allow non-salaried employees to work off the clock. Yes. Yes. Right. Okay. Right. But that means yeah. Right. Okay. I knew there was something there. So once they knew you did it, and because they're using AI to monitor everybody, they do know you do it. You're doing it, and they can't. They have no plausible deniability to say that they didn't know you were doing it because they're using AI. Is backfired on them. In short. But I mean, yeah, and if my memory is correct, and you weren't a big fan of this company to begin with, Kodiak, like maybe this is just the universe trying to tell you that it's time to start looking elsewhere. The universe works in mysterious ways. So I'm gonna do totally like standard green base coat over the whole toad, but we're gonna switch that up a lot as we move forward on the toad because his underbelly is gonna be lighter. And we're going to bring in shadows on his other parts, and maybe, I don't know if we can really do some spots, but we might try. With the pebbly skin, with the pebbling being so big, it's hard to do spots. Pattern, whenever and the more extreme the texture of the surface, the harder it is to do animal patterns. Unless they're very simplified, like, white feet or whatever. Oh, that's fine, Kodiak. You know we never mind hijacking. Yeah, that's always. Thanks for the brush up, Turgeon. I thought I remembered that. There was something that the company could be found very liable for if they allowed it. Yeah. And like I said, the fact that they're using AI to spy on their employees means that they've essentially screwed themselves because they don't have any plausible deniability left. Which is kind of amusing, but probably why they're grumpy about it. Alright, so I'm going to put a shadow. I already started putting a shadow, you can see, between the toad and the pumpkin. Now, we use lining on this, and we could absolutely just use a really harsh line, but if you don't like lining, the way around it is to essentially do a line, but then to diffuse it with a little bit of water, so that you still get that shadow there to define the break between the two parts of the model, but you don't need to do a very cartoony line. Now, obviously, yeah, this is a very cartoony model, so I can come in here. Kiki, you're going to get exiled, young lady. You are not being good today. She was very much a dingo this morning on her walk, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, Laura. That's fair. Most of the time, companies want to go up to salary so they can get more out of their employees. But there probably is also things they need to offer, like additional like stuff they need to offer to salaried employees, maybe. That, no idea. Hard to say. Every company's different. So we're gonna go in and shade. Yeah, I hope you can find something, Kodiak. Yeah, what Twistedoma says. We don't mind if you vent. We're okay with it. So I'm using my, the first brown that I mixed that got very, very dark because of the walnut. And I'm just pretty much using that for a liner here, or a shader, to get between the limbs and the underside of the leg. So we can make those limbs darker. Then I do want a line between the feet and the top of the mushroom. Today is David and I's 2nd anniversary. We're going out to dinner tonight. It'll be yummy. I'm looking forward to it. Gonna get his line around his mouth. Gonna darken in his eyeballs. Thanks, guys. Yep. Yeah, life has been looking up ever since I married him. So, actually, technically, this coming, and it's funny because I made it, it's almost perfect for our Hawaii trip, even though I didn't plan it that way. But this coming spring will be the anniversary of me moving to California and moving in with him. So, our togetherness anniversary will be when it's right after we go to Hawaii, actually. So the Hawaii is the early celebration. Alright, so we've got that blocked in. I want to look up some toad pictures. I don't remember if the pouches on the back of the head tend to be dark or light, so let me go and get that real quick and we'll get back in focus. Hello, little toad. Yeah, they tend to be just the same pattern as anything else. Although there's some nice, like, toady patterning here. Just looking for a nice kind of pattern to work with here. Yeah, maybe that guy. He's a cute little toad. So we won't be able to do, because the pebbling on the skin is so extreme, guys, we won't be able to do a lot of the spotting. But we probably can do at least the big line from the back of the eye backward, and maybe a couple of other splotches. But because the more texture there is, the harder it is. To actually make a pattern stick. Yes, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see here. So I want to go a bit lighter, first of all, with the green. This has showed me, and maybe I want to even go up, although right now the green is, notice that the green, even though it is a different green than this, isn't too far off. And what I can do now is I can take this olivey color and I can add it, a little bit of it along the outer edge of these big leaves. So I can shift the color. Maybe even a little bit on the inside. I can add that olivey tone to that leaf, then it'll resonate a little better. And I can add a little bit of a brighter green to Toad as we paint him as well. And that'll help them harmonize. I think I overdid it a little bit at CrossFit last night. My regular coaches were not there. And I probably shouldn't have done the sumo deadlifts, or I should have scaled them more. But I hadn't done them before while I wasn't feeling great, so I feel like my knee was a little bit like no. Even though I kept the weight very light, it's just the movement. It's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back with ye old knee, but that's all right. I'll be able to walk my 5K. Less than a month now till that comes up. And then I've got a whole 6 months, I think, before my next 5K. And that should be enough time to get back into, I'm going to do lining guys around the back here. We didn't paint any of this. But yeah, the green back here is actually a little more olivey, kind of like this, and we can keep that color on the vines as well. So let's mix up a little bit of a lighter toad color. We're going to go more tan with it. Let me get my mixing brush and grab a little bit of this, move it over, and grab, let's do 1 drop of either leather or chestnut brown, and then another drop of the creamy ivory. Hey Masara, thanks for that resub. 56 months, that's a lot of time. Oh, I gotta get a little bit more mixing on that. So chestnut gold is officially back. It is a golden brown. It is a very useful color. You should all run out and buy it. If you haven't, it was canceled and then brought back because so many people complained about it being canceled. So yeah, now you have to vote with your wallets. So that's going to bring that up browner. And I'm going to grab another drop of creamy ivory. Look. Yeah, you're almost at 60. Pretty much I need to sing another quintuple subiversary song soon. There we go. All right, so that's much browner, but we'll work with that. And we're just switching it up because animals often have that, you know, they're often, the colors on them are switched up a bit. It doesn't follow a direct linear progression from highlight to shadow. So I'm going to grab my lighter color and I'm going to paint it over the texture. I don't want to pick up the pebbly texture until we're further along. Like if I'm going to actually highlight each individual little bump, that's a nice color. So do you guys have many Halloween decorations up in your neighborhood? The street that goes off, if I go down and turn right, there's a long street that stretches all the way across our neighborhood, and there's a lot of kids who live on that street, so it's very into Halloween. So I wandered, last time I took a walk down there, I saw the giant inflated dinosaurs with witches' hats and pumpkins and stuff. I'm kind of sad though, there was a house last year that had a huge black dragon inflate-a-toy. That was really cool. But no dragon this year. They're going much more scaled down this year. Alright, so. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice color. So we'll grab the top of his knee with that color as well. And a little bit on the top of his little arm. Not even lights and cobwebs? We get a lot of lights and cobwebs. There's only a couple of giant inflatable dinosaurs. The sad thing is that most of the kids on that street don't actually come down to, like, just turn the corner and come down our street. We're on a busier road, so probably the parents just want them. I mean, they've got more than enough on just their own little street. I thought about getting some more Halloween lights this year. We get a few trick-or-treaters, we just don't get a lot. So I'm just putting in some of these lighter colors down there, and I'm going to mix up more of a even lighter color. Right, you're way out in the middle of the country. It's definitely something that you get more in town. No trick-or-treater is going to run a 5K to get to you, Shadow Raven. Unless they were extremely dedicated. They're like, I'm going to run a marathon this Halloween. I'm going to just run between farmsteads. Mostly businesses, yeah. Bummer. That's so bummer. Yet another reason to like where I live, I guess. Alright, so we took a little bit of that lighter color, put a little bit even more of the chestnut gold in it. And now I'm going to add another drop of creamy ivory. There's already one in there. But I want to get a kind of a tan color for the underbelly. And take that up more pale. Just want a little bit lighter. Bummer. Man, you guys are all like very sad, don't have full Halloween experience. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's time to get painting those Halloween minis, Twistoma. I'm gonna sit down and actually paint them. Especially if you bought an adventure cat. She had some nice Halloween stuff. I almost bought seasonal cats from her too, but I had enough. Alright, so now I want to actually paint the underbelly lighter, so I want to go over mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, Laura, that's fair. Ah, your parents have a couple of neighbors that go big with it. Yeah. Is that why you're such a Halloweener, Wendy? Halloweeny. They're both bad. Or is it just your soul? The darkness of your soul. I'm glad I live in a safer neighborhood than that, Inara. I used to live in neighborhoods like that when I was college, just out of college. So I'm doing some wet blending here on his little chin, just with that dark brown that I first mixed up. mixed with the tan and beige. And we're going to just continue in that vein with his underbelly. Life-size horse. 4 6-foot dragons and skeletons everywhere. Oh my god. Wow. That's a bit over the top. Like, I like a good Halloween decoration. Like, I like a good Christmas decoration. Which means when it gets to the point where it's actually garish is when I lose interest. But, you know, to each their own. Apparently that house loves Halloween. I do love the house near me. I've told you guys before about the spiders. It's actually the house with the little free library in it that I put my books in. It's the same house. It had giant spiders that are one on the roof and one on the chimney over the garage. And they don't ever take them down. Instead, they decorate the spiders for different holidays. So right now the spiders are actually decorated for Halloween. One is wearing a witch's hat and one has like a ghost costume like strung over its abdomen. Yeah, and then on graduation, the spiders get little graduation caps, and on Christmas, the one that's lower down has a Santa hat and a beard. Like, it's fantastic, actually. I always enjoy seeing the spiders dressed up. I'll bet you anything the kids in that house didn't want to take the spiders down, and the parents are just like, well... Yeah, it is outstanding. It's fantastic. Your real spiders will be okay stand-ins. We'll make it count in our... I feel like I'm just like not in the right focus. So hold on, let me get really in focus here. There, down lower. So I'm putting in some tan on his underbelly to get, and I'm going to put a dark stripe going down his sides, like the toad in our picture. We did make it to Wednesday, and I'm still selling books, Richard. I'm a convert. Facebook ads, man. It's all about the Facebook ads now. Now my challenge is now I get to switch up my targeting and my my ad because my price will go back up, and see if I can still sell books. All right, so I want to look at my reference so I can get the shape of this dark stripe. So it's irregular and it's got like, it kind of wobbles back and forth and it goes thinner as it goes down. We won't be able to do a lot of that, like I said, because we're, but we can widen it a bit here and then make it more narrow. And we can make it go back down here and then kind of split up. But you see, like, there's very limited, it's very limited, and I'll just do a dark patch here up against that pattern. So we have to keep it very simple. Instead of doing a bunch of small, we have to do just a couple of big markings. And then we can maybe put a marking around his little leg here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's toady. Oh yeah, poor hamsterling. All of the. Yeah, we sold 8 books yesterday, Richard. That's good. So yeah, so we want to keep that. We want to do that pattern, but instead of doing small dots, we're going to do big ones. And put a dark spot on his back, and then we'll do some shading on those upper parts. Yeah, that's my fave too. I love it. Yeah, yeah. I've loved that story since I was a kid when I had when I had books of fairy tales and dog stories and stuff, one of my dog stories book had the tinderbox in it, illustrated, and I fell in love with it. So forget him. I need to feel better. Got it, Crowley. Good to hear your priorities. I mean, but I'm just hoping the hamsterling stops getting sick so that, you can stop getting sick. I mean, it's not fair that children, starve you of sleep and then they bring home all the diseases so you catch them. That's kind of the double whammy, right? But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Maricha. I love the dogs. And actually, you'll be happy to know then in book 3, well, their dogs are still, they play a part in book 2. But one of them is back in book 3. So they'll keep popping up because I really love them. Oh, you're one of those people. Yeah. He bounces back in a day and a half. Yep, that's kid's immune system. Yeah, and you linger because you're sleep deprived. And you probably have no time to exercise. Are you at least taking vitamins? Vitamins can help, in my experience. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Marich. It always makes me feel really happy when somebody enjoys my books. So, and if you have time to leave a review, I would it means the world to me. And you don't even have to write anything. A star review is fine. We have a lot of written reviews now, so now we just need to get more star reviews, more reviews in general. When I hit 50, then I can apply for some bigger ads. So, and everything that gets my book out, that gets my book out there, that's what I'm aiming for these days. Oh, thank you so much. Yay! Yay! It's the review hearts. Yeah, they are so important. I mean, when I buy a book, first thing I look at is how many reviews it's got and what roughly what the rating is. And I'll usually go and read one or two of them just to see if it's the kind of thing I'd like. Because I have so little time to read. I think most of us are like that these days. I'm going to grab my tan color and highlight a little bit of this stripe down the back. And the top of this. So we simplified the stripes. And wood is coming along really well, actually. But yes, thank you in advance, Marich. That would put us at 36 for the month. Then we'd only have 14 reviews left to hit 50. That's amazing. It's so good. Makes me so happy. This whole month has been great. The great thing about all of this is that because so many people are buying my books, it makes me want to write. I did over 1,000 words last night, actually, just at the end of the night. I wanted to sit down and get some words in on the new book. So it's working out really well. But yeah, Toady is looking like a toad, right? Toady looks like a toad. Now we need to do, I want to do a little bit more detailing. I think I need a little bit more dark lining in here. Yeah, I mean, usually a couple hundred is what I'm at, and I'm perfectly 500 is my informal what I'm reading, what I'm going for. 400's okay. And honestly, as long as I get any writing at all in on a given day is good when I'm in the middle of life. Right now, I'm actually trying to push it and get kind of clear the decks because NaNoWriMo is looming. And I want to make a real run at Nano this year. I want to get those 50,000 words on this book. So that means I've got to work on clearing my schedule of all the little things before we hit November, so that I can really focus. I'm even hoping I have a little extra time to shoot extra videos for my Patreon, like right at the end of the month, so that I can be ahead. Thanks, Val. Yeah, Toad is really coming along. You've won Nano only once? I have won it, oh man, 4, I think? I won it for East of the Sun when I first wrote, East of the Sun was a Nano novel. So was West of the Moon. I started both of them in Nano and did their first 50,000 words there. Of course, considering that West of the Moon ended up being 140,000 words, I guess I didn't really write the whole book, did I? But I did 50K. Well, it's impressive until you realize I've been doing Nano since 2007, Marie. And then you're like, okay, so out of all of those years, I've only finished like 4 or 5 times. I don't know, I think 4. But you know what? I'll take it. Like, the important thing is I have 3 books out there. And there'll be a 4th this coming year. Maybe earlier in the year, we'll see. It depends. Depends on how it comes together. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for being impressed. And thank you for reading my books too and liking them. It just, every time you hear that as a writer, it just makes you so happy, and then you just want to write more. Like that's the thing. I'm gonna actually undercoat his eyes with white, guys. Toad's eyes are often gold, and so I wanna do that. Yeah, now the Facebook ad's been working so well. But the Facebook ads would not have worked if I didn't have, as I've been telling people over the last several days, the Facebook ads would not have worked for me if I hadn't had all of you guys leaving reviews. Like, without reviews, nobody would have picked up my book, no matter how cheap it was. I also decided that even though I'm working on a book that's outside of the Bear Kings right now, like, I'm only going to put out, I think, Bear Kings every year. Because I realized that now that the Facebook ads are actually, like, getting some traction, knock on wood, hopefully they continue to get traction. Now that I have a way to get the word, to get my book out to more people, I'd be best served just focusing on putting out Bear Kings books and just writing books for the next series, but holding off. Because the bigger my mailing list gets, and the more people are looking for my next book, the more people are potentially interested in the next series. So the longer I wait to launch it, not only will I be able to put out books at more of a clip, but I will be able to, I'll have more people reading off the bat and more reviews off the bat, so. Yeah, I always liked the author's notes too, Turgeon. That's why I do one for every book. Here we got big round eyes on our toad. Oh, sorry, I got off camera. Big round eyes on our toad. Yeah, and for me, positive reinforcement is just like, I've been running Amazon ads for over a year and having sporadic success with them. I mean, and most months I end up in the black. But they still haven't been great, and so my writing coach was like, you should try Facebook ads, and I've held off because they're more complicated, and I was just like out of energy. Pardon me, drop my brush. I was out of energy after pushing really hard to get East of the Sun and West of the Moon done and out. But now it's been over a year, and I've got a third book out, and I feel good, and so I felt like I could actually tackle Facebook ads, and so far it's been a good experience. I'm encouraged. Because that's the challenge. It's like writing the book is the first part of the challenge, but then getting people to read your book is the second part. So I'm going to use that Batling Brown to give a base of Toad's Eyes, and then I'm going to reach for my Lantern Yellow and mix it into the Batling Brown to get kind of a golden color. So Batling, look at that. Yeah, so if you have good reviews on your books and if you have a good cover, Mirage, I am finding that Facebook ads, depending on your genre, are you my genre? I don't remember what genre you write in. But I'm finding much better results with Facebook ads, like lower cost per click and more sales. Epic Fantasy, okay, good. Have you watched David Gaughran's video on doing covers with Canva? Or doing ads with Canva and then Facebook ads 2022. Yeah, the Toad is looking really good. I like him too, Tristan. I'm glad you like him. Are you familiar with David Gaughran? Okay. You need to check him out. So let me write down his name. A lot of people talk about him. I love all of his books actually, but he also does his YouTube is very informative. And he really step-by-steps it, and he's had like decades in advertising and helping other authors advertise their books. He's an Irish guy who used to work for Google and then started writing books and decided to indie publish. That's his name. Look him up on YouTube. You could also look up his website. He has free courses on marketing, and all of his stuff's just very good. But the Facebook ads video, the 2022 one, is the one that I used to set up my first ad, and I used his Canva, creating a cover on Canva video to set up my first ads graphic. And it worked very well for me. And this is me setting my first book on sale for 99 cents. Yeah, and definitely. And he's great, and he's funny. He's also really funny. So he's great to watch. He's just great to watch. I love him to death. Someday I hope to meet him in person and tell him what a difference he's made. I'm sure he hears that all the time. But he also writes historical fiction. I haven't read his fiction, but his info is good. So yeah, look that up. How many books do you have in your series? Do you only have one, or do you have? If you have more, you're more likely to break even or to make a profit. Obviously, it's just the reason I bring that up. Like right now, I am not. I don't know if I'm breaking even. I don't think I'm breaking even because my first book is only at 99 cents, but that's a loss leader. So the hope is that when people start buying the second book, we will get more sales and make more money and cover the cost of our stuff. Oh, 4-book series. Yeah. See, that's great. That's perfect. I held off till 3 books, and they say that you should hold off till 3 or 4. Before you start doing Facebook ads. But yeah, it's a thing. Like it's so far I'm cautiously optimistic. And honestly, even if it only after my book is off of sale, even if it only nets me 1 or 2 sales a day instead of 5 or 8, it'll still be better than I was doing with Amazon. So all right, so we're going to add in yellow and white and a little bit of Batling Brown to make kind of a gold color for our eyes. That's a good one right there. That's kind of a light ochre color. But yeah, I do think that you need a certain number of books before you do Facebook ads, and you also need a certain number of reviews on book 1, right? I would say at least 20 reviews. Yeah, now that, keep in mind, sorry everybody to derail for writing just a little tiny bit here, but keep in mind that that is also when every major publisher is going to be running sales on Facebook and gobbling up those clicks. So your cost per click is going to be a lot higher if you do things over the holidays, and you're going to get generally lower returns on your books over the holidays because you are competing with a ton of other New York publishers who have a lot of money to throw at this, more than you do. So, oh yeah, you've got tons of reviews. Fantastic. I wish I had 169 reviews. Go you. That's fantastic. But yeah, so I'm timing my promotions. I'm doing one every about 4 months right now is my plan. And I'm timing them to not be around the holidays. So I just am finishing up my one in October here, which is before the big holiday, rush thing. I don't think that's yellow enough. And then the next one won't be till like February. So yeah, the holidays are and again, this is just what I've heard, and sometimes people are much more alarmist and it's not really that much of a big deal. So definitely run your sale, but keep in mind like your cost per click. Like I would do, actually, if I were you, I would do one for Black Friday, and then maybe do one in March or something like that where there's really no set holiday, and look at the differences, right? Look at your cost per click and your conversion. Yeah. Oh, it pays to be smart when you're putting money on the line. And Facebook will go through your budget. Unlike Amazon, where you can set a $5 a day budget and it maybe goes through $1. Setting a $5 a day budget with Facebook means it will go through those $5. So be very cautious with larger budgets. I did $10 a day on this ad because I budgeted it for a week, and I'm like, I can afford to pay this for a week. But yeah, it will spend the money. But yeah, with that number of reviews and 4 books, you should be pretty, if your covers are good, because the cover is just always so important. But like, you should be set there to get some mileage. So fingers crossed. I hope you enjoy the David Gaughran video, and best of luck, man. And actually, can you give me your author name so I can look you up? Since I'm telling you to go read stuff, but I should really go look at your books. Because you're Lee Dunning, right? Okay. Right, okay. All right. I will go and look up your stuff. Thanks. Alright guys, so I'm using some Straight Lantern Yellow, but because it's over the top of a duller color, it's not coming off nearly as bright. Do you do a mailing list at all? I'm going to do a little bright there. And we do need to give him like kind of a toady pupil too, but the eyes are big enough, so I don't need to do that. Oh, nah, it's not a feeling. Some people are perfectly successful without a mailing list. I really like talking to my readers, so like I like chatting with them when I do my author mail out, which I'm about to do for this month. I just do one a month. I don't want to spam people. But I like to chat and give updates on the books and stuff, so if that like works for you, then it works. But if it doesn't work, it's not something you have to have. Another thing that works for me is a author Facebook page, which you're probably going to need to do anyway. You're going to want an author Facebook page if you don't have one, just because you're going to want your Facebook ads to like to come from that, so that people can follow it to you. Okay, you're good. Yeah. Oh no, Luca. Okay. Good to know. All right, what was I going to do? One more thing. Oh yeah, I needed my toad eyeballs. So toads have very beautiful eyes. I think it's amazing how they're beautiful metallic colors. Like they're a lot of them are gold and they're just so shiny and lovely. So we've got slightly oblong pupils with a lighter line around them. I think toads have the most beautiful eyes. I actually took a picture of a toad at my house in Texas that I just had to stop and take a picture because the eyes were so bright gold and they were gorgeous. I'm going to mix a little white into my lantern yellow to punch it up a little and give it a little more coverage. I'm going to grab a little bit more. But yeah, good luck to you. And depending on how long it's been, like if you try Facebook ads but you find that your covers maybe aren't converting or it's not converting great for you, you could also look at redoing your covers, which apparently some authors do about every 5 or 6 years just to freshen up the books. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. I think the only reason I would redo covers at this point is like if I was actually successful enough to be able to afford a quote-unquote real illustrator. But that's expensive stuff, so it'll be a while. I'm going to grab black so that I can do little pupils. Oh no, he's a dry toad. Frogs are wet. Toads are dry. Plus, it's just like not really within the realm of this project, Twisted Oma. I haven't done any, like if he's wet, why is nothing else wet, right? And I don't want to have to paint, like painting something like it's wet is one of the most advanced techniques that you can do. And it'd be agonizing to work on something that has this much texture and try to do that. So it's a no. If I was going to make stuff look wet, I would be using gloss varnish. I would not be doing, I would be doing this a little different. But it's super challenging to paint things like they're wet. It's like painting chrome, except even worse in some ways. All the toads I met were dry anyway, like unless it was rainy out. So I'm going to add some water to my black guys because I need it to make a very small shape. So I just put a bit, like about a drop in there, and I added just a brushful of water to it. We'll see if that's enough for me to do the toad eyes. But yeah, good luck with your books, Marage. I hope it works out. I hope you like the videos and that you're able to utilize them to your fun and profit. I actually always was worried about doing Facebook ads because I had no idea what to use for graphics, but Gogrin makes it very easy. And then once I realized how easy it really was, it got fun. So now I'm looking forward to it. It's actually my treat. Making Facebook ads is my treat for getting all my work done today, guys. That's kind of sad, I know. All right, so let's do that slightly oblong pupil. There's a little toad eye for us. And another little toad eye over here. There he is. Totally and Batling. They're friends. Yeah, sure, no problem. Authors gotta help each other's out. Like, I'm going to put a little bit of a lighter color around the top of that pupil. Hostile message. Oh my. Must be slang. I'm not going to look it up. Let's not go to Urban Dictionary for some of this. Now we get a little bit more highlight, and then we got a pretty nice toad. Oh, in the chat setting. Can make it less aggressive, yeah. All right, so now I want to highlight just a little bit more of his belly to make it lighter. So I'm going to mix up my tan and my white together. To make that color. Very creamy. Yeah, this week's going really well so far. Really, really well. Makes me happy. And I'm just so happy, again, that I don't have any travel to worry about until December, end of December. Just so nice. To be lazy weekends, which for me are not lazy, they're writing weekends, but it's just nice to have the time and the focus. So far I've held fast on not making more trips for next year. Like, we decided not to hit Las Vegas Open because it was just too late, and it was bad timing for us with the Hawaii trip and Adepticon. David's going to Adepticon, but I said no. He wanted to know if he needed to be my secret shopper, but I think he would like to be my secret shopper, so I might have to look up some things I need him to buy. There we go. So just a little bit more highlights underneath on the toadling, and I'm going to give him his little toes a little highlight. He's so cool. Look at him. All it took was a little bit of work. Now, we did use the whole stream to paint him, but... Bye, Crowley. I hope you feel better. I hope you stop getting plagued by your hamsterling. It's any consolation, Ron used to get that same problem when his kids were in school. Yay! I'm just going to put a little bit more of a highlight around his mouth. The toad is the star. There we go. What you guys think? I think he looks really good. Much better than expected, actually. Yeah. He does have personality. Do a little bit of a line down here. There. Sweet. There he is. Now let's back up. All right, we tucked him in. We tucked in a toad. And I'm going to add just a little bit of brighter green up on the top of his head. Just a little. So I'm going to mix up my wilderness again. I could also glaze wilderness over the entire toad, but I really like his color. And I think it's going to work just fine when I introduce more of an olive tone back here. So here, I just want to get a little bit of this wilderness green. And I'm thinning it down a lot. I don't want it to be too punchy, so that's this consistency. And we'll put just a little bit up on the top of his little eyeballs and on his little nose. So that there's a little bit of that same green. And on his head. We'll keep it on his head. To bring in just a little bit of a greener spot to help with the synergy up here. Maybe a little bit on his front leg. A little bit of green here and there just to intensify him a bit. A little bit more green. There. And he fits in just fine. He's not jarring. It's kind of cool because you can kind of see him from this angle, but then you get him more back here. And since we're back here, like, we can toss a little bit of our olive green onto these guys so that the color is more like toad, which will help it, again, synergize a bit. A little bit more green on the rear side of the toad to go with that. So there we go. So as we highlight these vines, we can make them a little bit more olive and the green and the leaves a little bit more green, and that'll help work with toad. So next time, in our next episode, we will probably work on the back of the pumpkin and maybe the vines tomorrow. We still have mushrooms that we need to paint with the caps. The caps aren't done over here. And we've got some stems that aren't done over here. So we still have some stuff to do on the mushrooms and stuff. So we still need to get those two little claws on his wings. But yeah, we'll work on whatever I feel like tomorrow, whether it's mushrooms or the back of the pumpkin is what we will be tackling. We are at 11, and I guess I'll end on time. I've been going late for the last many days, so I feel like I'm okay and actually ending at 11 today. Any questions? Toady looks good. Toady says, wonk. Oh, yawns. It's still cloudy. I don't know if it's supposed to rain later today. I don't think so. Usually, I would have seen it. Yeah, it's supposed to be sunny. 2 p.m. it starts to get sunny here. And by the time we get back from dinner, it'll be dark. We'll have to remember to leave the light on for the papa so she's not sad. Yeah, I don't see any real rain in the forecast. Bummer. Bummer! Here I was getting all hopeful. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a fun model. Thanks, Sturgeon. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to have a fun one. Happy Toad. Well, Batling is smiling, so obviously he needs to be smiling too. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tolerating our digressions from the main topic. Tomorrow we'll do the back, more of the back of the model, and we're getting very close to done. I hope you all are happy with it. I'm very happy with how he's turning out. And thank you, Quindy and Korniko, for wrangling, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? All righty. Have a great one.